Go to Mike Muse. He's the Sirius XM radio host and pop culture commentator. He's on the phone with us. Mike, how you doing today?
Hey, as best as I can be. It's definitely a difficult time that we are experiencing in the music community and just for American culture as a whole. Back in New York City this morning, I was actually in Los Angeles over the weekend, and I was in L.A. when the news broke, and coincidentally, I was only 10 minutes away from the Marathon store where he got gunned down at. So it's definitely a difficult morning for us.
Yeah, I just want you to elaborate more about, we talked about it some, but just what he meant to the community, because a lot of celebrities, they become famous and then they sort of leave, but he stayed within South Los Angeles and really tried to invest and reinvest in the children there. So talk about that.
Absolutely. What I'm hopeful, and the silver lining is that America will begin to understand the nature of gang culture through Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey is one of those individuals who represent when there's lack of opportunity where gang culture seems to make sense. He talked about that a lot. He talked about where he didn't feel any hope when growing up as a kid. He didn't feel like he could be ambitious. He wasn't surrounded by anything that would give him exposure to what could be possible. And when you're growing up in that environment where you're not exposed to what could be possible, why would you even want to feel the need to be ambitious or even think you can make it out? So then therefore by default you do what is normalized to you and what seems natural and what seems attainable, which is that gang culture. And so we as America need to begin to really understand the decision points of why individuals do choose gangs, and it's not by choice but more so by circumstance, and a circumstance out of hopelessness. But with Nipsey, he recognized that, and what he did was when he was growing up, he had a natural affinity to computers. Nipsey was an individual who would actually go and buy computers as a child, as an adolescent, as a teenager at auctions, and he would build new computers out of scratch. The reason why is he had a love for music, and he didn't have a lot of money, and he knew he wanted to be in the music business, so he knew that he had to use the software to offset what he didn't have the money to pay for studios. And that's really where his love of STEM really began to come from. And so as he began to move into his journey, move into music, he began to reinvest in the community from that space and from that aspect. And so the STEM center that he created didn't really come from out of nowhere. It really came from an innate curiosity. He's an example of someone who got out of their circumstance by following their curiosity. And what was incredible, the investment was he took advantage of the opportunity zone that is happening in Los Angeles, California, to which you're very familiar with in terms of the tax credits. And what he was doing was redeveloping his community, right? He literally took over the shopping plaza. He was going to tear it all down and build up 100 units. That was going to be a mix of commercial and residential. But then within the commercial space was going to be a STEM center for the children in the local community to begin to learn STEM. But what was also so interesting was he was also going to create what is a co-working space. Think WeWork, if you will. I mean, think about how important that is, right? Again, he's providing the solution for where he didn't feel the opportunity was. And so what he's doing is creating opportunities for those who may be entrepreneurial, those who may have a curiosity in computers. Come to the center, let me teach you, let me bring these exposures to you. That was really who Nipsey was at his core, and that's what he was doing for the community.
Yes, Mike. Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. This is a devastating loss, so we're sending lots of love to his family, his girlfriend, Lauren London, and his children.